This has been a long time coming. I have been waiting a long time to be able to reveal this to you guys, and this may be the most exciting thing I have ever had to reveal to you. I won't bury the lead. I won't keep you in suspense. I have written a book. Not only have I written a book, the book is now edited, formatted, and has now been sent off to the printers. But before we got my book printed, one sample copy was sent to us. Our last minute check, if everything's okay, sample copy. And I have got it here right in front of me. And this is it. I'm going to reveal to you guys the title of the book, what it's about, the cover art, everything. Behold, my friends, I don't want to keep you in suspense. It is Tales from Randomland. This is it. I wrote a book. It exists in physical format. It's not a joke. It's not a coloring book. It's not a picture book. It's not a coffee table book. As a matter of fact, there are no pictures inside of this book whatsoever. It is all words. I figure I've sort of given you a lot of visuals and a lot of visual storytelling over the past decade or so, and these are the stories that you couldn't quite capture on film, starting from before Randomland existed. There's a lot of pain in here, there's a lot of honesty, there's some life lessons learned, but there's also a lot of funny stuff in here, a lot of wacky, crazy tales of different adventures across the United States and overseas, and how Randomland got started and all that kind of stuff. I'll read you a little portion from the back of the book. In this book, Justin reveals how a punk rock frontman turned into an accidental YouTuber and how a life of adventure didn't end at hanging up the guitar. Discover the surprising origin of Randomland and through a series of adventures, how learning to stand on your own 2 feet can change everything. That's probably the best way to put it, which is why I put it on the back cover there. It's probably the best description, where there's a lot in here. It's a real book. Look at this. There are words in here. There are many, many hundreds, in fact, of pages. And like I said, no pictures, no filler. This is actually a book that I wrote all of the words to and everything. So the way this happened was I sat down and started writing stories. I had a traumatic brain injury. I had a concussion years ago that kind of messed up a hindbuck to my memory. And as sort of an exercise in kind of helping jog my brain, I started to write down some stories and write down some things. I started writing down some sort of painful memories. And then we had a crazy pandemic where everybody was kind of locked in at their home. We had a nice stay-at-home vacation. You guys remember that one. And I decided that since there was nothing else to do, I would start actually working on this in earnest. Never thinking in a million years anyone else would really ever see it. But I kind of wanted to see if I could do it, really, honestly. And I wrote down all these different stories. It was only once I kind of started showing them to people that I was like, dude, I think you might actually need to turn this into a book. So with a little bit of encouragement and a lot of hard work, I sat there and concentrated and wrote, hundreds of thousands of words, which then, of course, I had to send to my friend Tyler Evans. You guys might remember him, the original Tyler from way back in the day on this show and on the Sometimes vlog, who had to kind of edit it, snip some things out that weren't really relevant, kind of put some things back in the right order that I had done as flashbacks within a flashback and kind of that kind of thing. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. He made it more clear. Then it went through a whole other round of editing that my dad helped me with. So this is it. It's a real book over here. My dad laid it out. He did all this work. He went the extra mile, made it look all clean and fancy and stuff. But my favorite thing right now, holding this, is to just stare at the cover. And the cover art right here is also very special, because this cover art, not only does it capture like the spirit of adventure from the book, it's sort of adventure in a picture. This was done by my very good friend, one of my favorite people, Brett Iwan, the official voice of Mickey Mouse. He's a painter, a very good painter, graphic designer, artist, train builder. He does all kinds of weird stuff. And he's done this book cover for me, and it is fantastic. Here's what the spine looks like right there. Check it out. It's got a spine. I know I have large hands, so it's hard to tell how big this is, but it's a 6x9 book. Look at the size of it next to my noggin. It's got heft. It's got weight. It is a real book. And here's the thing. There will be an audiobook. There will be a Kindle, Apple Books, an online version of the book, an ebook version coming down the line. But first things first, we've got to wait for the actual physical copies. And I wanted to do this in a different kind of way. Instead of doing what they commonly do now, which is called print on demand, where you order one book and somebody digitally prints one book and sends you one book, I had taken graphic design in college, and as part of that, I decided I wanted to take printing in college. So I actually worked with like offset lithography. Oh, let me show you the book while I'm talking. Actual printing presses, and I did all kinds of label printing and notebook printing and stationery printing and stuff like that. Learned how newspapers were printed. And as part of kind of continuing that craft, keeping that old school thing alive with actual metal printing plates and all that stuff, I really wanted these to be physically made, both for that reason, for keeping those guys in business. And this is printed in the USA, the whole book printed and bound and everything in the United States of America. It's actually being printed in Illinois as we speak. That was one reason. And the other reason is it's very special to me. And I really felt like it was important, since it's very personal stuff in here, to have every single one of those books come into my house, come through my door, to your door, if that makes any sense. I wanted to physically have all the books here, physically each one handled by us and shipped to you. So they're a real printing of the book. Now, one day way down the line, I'm sure I'm not opposed to the new way of the digital printing, but I thought it would be cool to do it the way they did it back in my mom's day, like the old school way, the right way, the old Tales from Randomland way. So this first edition, first printing is really limited. It's very expensive. It's 2024. There's inflation. There's everything else. But it is on the way. They are being printed as we speak. Like I said, this is just a sample copy, and some things have been changed. The picture of me back here is a little different and all this kind of stuff. But for the most part, this is it. This is the size and the shape and the weight and the feel. It's all right here. Tales from Randomland. And here's the best part. We do not have to wait 2 weeks for you to order this book. The pre-orders are open right now. If you're seeing this video, the pre-orders have begun. For the very first edition, the first printing, we have got 3 options for you. We've got the plain, just the book, bare bones. I just want the book. Just give me the book. Send me the book. We've got the signed version. You can order it, and then I will be signing it. They all come here. I will physically be signing it and then shipping it out to you. And then the highest level, the personalized. So you can have me right in there. To Timmy, on your birthday, from Justin. Then you can go hand it to Timmy and be like, just kidding, I'm keeping it, sucker, because you're going to want to hold on to these things because they're going to be rare. I don't know that they're going to be valuable one day, but, maybe. You never know. Maybe everyone will throw them in the fire and there'll only be a few copies left and they will be very valuable. You're going to want to hold on to Tales from Randomland. It is coming very, very soon. I would hurry over to we only ordered about as many as we used to get of the old pins. Where we used to sell the pins, and maybe one day we'll do a pin again. But for right now, concentrate on the book. And those used to sell out pretty quickly. So I don't want you to worry. There will be, if they sell out, we'll print more. But that first edition, first printing, I don't know how long they're going to last. The physical copies of the book, not digitally printed, offset printing, old school, kind of whatever. There you go. That's what's going on. Whew! You can tell I'm like a little hyper. I'm a little crazy. I'm actually kind of shaking a little bit inside. I'm shaking like a leaf, as my grandma used to say. Because I'm actually nervous about this. Now, before Randomland, you're going to find out a little bit about that in here. I was in a band for years, and I played in front of 1,000 people. I played in front of 3 people. 3 people is a lot harder. And I'm nervous about this book. I'm nervous about it because I've never done anything like this before in my life. I had to learn how to film in theme parks when, nobody was doing that. Everybody thought you were crazy, pointing a camera at yourself, and lots of other things have made me nervous and given me a little stage fright in life that I got over. This one's a little bit bigger of a deal because there is a lot of personal stuff in here. It's a new endeavor. It's a new thing I've never tried before, writing a book at all. And I don't know how it's going to react. I don't know how people are going to react. My family has read it. A couple people in my family. And 1 or 2 other people who helped me work on the book have read it, and kind of given me a little feedback while I was constructing it. And that's about it. So everybody's going to get this all at the same time and be the first people to all read it together, which is another reason to kind of delay a Kindle or an audiobook. I'll try to do an audiobook. I've got the equipment to do it. It's just I've never read my own book before. So, we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll keep in all the ums and and mistakes and side digressions or whatever. So that will come. And I'm sure we'll do a Patreon podcast and I'll talk all about the book and go into more detail and at greater length about, what brought this on and what's in it and all that kind of stuff. But for now, I'm going to keep you in a little bit of suspense. I don't want to spoil it for you because it's a couple weeks until they get here and ship out. They should be getting here and shipping out from my house on May 1st, 2020. It's hard for me to say 2024. It always comes out as 2024. 2024. They are coming out. Tales from Randomland. So I feel weird. I feel nervous. I feel jittery. I feel uncomfortable. And I feel mostly like a lot of adrenaline. I feel very excited to share this with you. So like I said, it's been a long time coming. It's been a strange, weird, bizarre decade of my life filming Randomland and doing all that stuff. And like I say, this goes back before Randomland. It goes through the origin of it and how awkward it was to start doing it, and kind of some really important life lessons you learn along the way when your whole world has been blown up and you're learning to stand on your own 2 feet. So there's some meat in there if you pick up on it. There's a lot of personal stuff in there, but there's some funny stuff, like I say. There's some stories in here no one's heard the full version of, and there's also some classics in here, some little Area 51 action, a little Clown Motel action, but there's some stuff in here. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll get a kick out of it. If you've ever liked any of these videos, I think you might enjoy this book. And yes, I know, I wrote a book. It's the weirdest thing ever. I didn't know I could do it, but I did it. I don't know if it's any good. That's up for you to decide. But as I've said, it's the best book I've ever written. So there you go. Tales from Randomland, Volume 1, available now for pre-order. Store.randomland.com or just randomland.com. I can't believe this is actually happening. This is crazy. This feels weird. It's the first time I've ever shown anybody this. It's you guys. It's happening. I wrote a book. Weird. All right. Go and check out the pre-order right now. Pre-orders are available right this second for the signed version, the personalized version, and the bare bones version. If that's all you can pick up for now. Kindle and audiobook in the future. This is going to be very rare, very exclusive, very for your eyes only. So go pick one up, and then you've done your duty. You can go home and read well.